Hi, I'm Henk from Four Wheeling SA, and today I'll be doing something different. I'm not going to go and do a trial, but I'm going to do something on the vehicle. I'm going to put on new tires. So in this video I will discuss my thinking around it. Why did I choose a specific tire? So yeah, hang on and I hope you enjoy this video. So currently I'm doing 120 on the speedometer. If I look at the GPS, it's about 10 kilometers out. So we'll see what influence the bigger tires will have. So currently I have the Goodrich Wrangler Adventure on. This is what they look like. You can see because of all the trials they're starting to take a beating on the edges, on the other side as well. That's got about 44,000 kilometers on them. So yeah, I think it's time to change them. Could probably run them a while longer, but you start to lose efficiency. So this is what it looks currently. So this is the worst one that's coming off. As you can see, it's really stuffed up, especially on the outside. In the middle it's fine, there's still some tread depth left, but yeah, you can even feel the rubber compound. It's quite hard. And then what I'm moving to are these ones. So while I have the opportunity, I'm also increasing the size of the tire. I'm going from a 265 60 18 to a 265 65 18. As you can feel the rubber compound is softer as well, and you can just see the difference. Yeah, I must say it's a lot of rubber you're gonna replace and put on. I'm gonna talk quickly about the sidewalls of the Goodrich, and if you look at them, they are really still in a good condition. I think that's the one thing I cannot fault about these tires, the sidewall strength. Little scratches like that, but no deep cuts or anything. I haven't had a single problem with them in terms of punctures. So old and new next to each other. I think it's about a 13 millimeter height I will gain. I think in overall it's a 26 millimeter difference in the diameter. So yeah, it's not a dramatic change. We're going to do some tests now to see with the steering wheel if it's rubbing when I'm turning. I've been told it shouldn't be a problem. Keep in mind that I do have aftermarket suspension. I've got old Man Emu, which gave me about a 35 millimeter lift in the front. There she goes. So the theory about these tires is obviously they've got their thread design. These grooves go through to almost to the inner side of the tire. Then they say that this will help you to deflect rocks or branches or whatever to prevent damage to the sidewalls. Then the sidewalls are this thick, so it's a very thick sidewall. So that will add some protection. So what obviously to keep in mind with the thicker sidewall is that it will flex less, so maybe a little bit of a lower tire pressure, but that's something I will have to see as I go along. So this is one of the older tires. The sidewall is definitely thinner, and I must say you can look at this. You can see it's a lot softer, the sidewall. you compare it to one of these, it's a lot stiffer. Off you go. And on goes the new one. Just like just in terms of the weight, just easily pick it up with my hand. These ones, they're about a bit heavier. You can have to put in a bit more effort to pick it up. I would say I feel maybe 3 to 5 kilo difference. So apparently this is a new wheel alignment machine, so yeah, if you have problems with wheel balancing on your 4x4, this is apparently the machine to use. So the guys here at Tyres always got one, so always good to know. I've just picked up a tyre from a, well, call it a normal car, like a Ford Fiesta. Look at the difference in size. There's a lot of extra rubber. Basically the size of the rim. So the one side is on, front left, and then the rear left. So it'll be interesting what it looks like when it's on the floor. Front seems as if there's enough clearance. Let's just check. I'm not sure if it will happen with a wider tyre, but there's not a lot of space there. It's basically my finger that goes in there. So if you're going to deflate a tyre that's wider, I don't know if it's a chance that it will rub there. That's on the, well, it's now on the back, so obviously no such problems there. This is just a printout from the wheel balancing. So that's obviously before, and that's after, showing where they've had to add weights and things like that. So yeah, very interesting information that you get there. So look at the thread pattern as well. As you can see, it's a lot closer. So I would say obviously these tyres are a lot more road based. If you have a look here at the difference, you can see the blocks are much more long, so there's a lot of more gaps. So obviously these will do a bit better in mud. It's obviously still not a mud terrain, but it should perform a bit better than the previous tyres. And also on the side, these will help you with grip in muddy conditions. I've actually seen it. Whereas a guy that had these tyres on it, better traction in the mud than I would have with the Goodrich. Now with it lowered, yeah, there's still a little bit of a gap in there. And this is what it looks after. It's like after. Wheels are on. Okay, so what we're going to test now is just to turn the wheel to see if there's any rubber. Just yes. That's fine. Step now is for lining. The side that I showed has the smallest gap, so we're going to see if we can make it slightly more, because on the other side, on the left hand side, the gap is a bit bigger. Okay, so after fitment, this is now what I'm doing. It's 120 on a speedometer and about 4 kilometers an hour out. So it's yeah, it's an improvement by about what, 3 to 4 kilometers. So it's much more accurate. Obviously your odometer will also be now more accurate. In terms of power, it's very difficult to feel a difference. You can, yeah, it's taken away a bit of power, but really nothing that I can complain about. Okay, so the question about tires. Which tires? What do you start up with? When I originally bought the vehicle, the purpose was for it to be a daily driver. So that's why I started up with the Goodyear Wranglers. I really think they did well over the lifetime. I got 44,000 kilometers out of them, and yeah, a 4x4 trail once a month, so they really had a tough life. So some of the things that I had to consider when I changed the tires is, can I go up a size tire? Obviously it's got advantages when you do 4x4 driving, so I had to decide, stick with the 265/60 R18 or just go up to the 265/65. Also had to consider, do I want to change to 17-inch rims? So obviously I have to pay for these tires, so yeah, I couldn't just change the rims. That was going to double up on the cost. So that's why I sticked with the same rim size, but I increased the size to 265/65/18. Overall I gained about 13 millimeters on height, so that obviously it's under the belly of the car and under the rear differential. Now the other questions, what I had to consider is, will it fit? Won't it rub? And luckily enough, Tyre Mart helped me to show that it's not going to touch anywhere. They've made some adjustments to the caster, so even before the adjustments, as you will see on the video, there were no problems. And then the other thing to consider is, for me, was what about the power delivery of the vehicle? Will it feel the same? As I need to use the vehicle to tow a caravan, I still need that the power. It's very hard for me to notice anything. Maybe a little bit, but I was driving in a strong headwind as well today, so I cannot really say if it's marginally. The other thing is fuel consumption. So with the way I was driving, my economy was around 10 kilometers a liter. I've driven 20 kilometers now with the new tires. Onboard computer still shows 10, so I'm expecting a drop between 0.5 and 1 kilometer on a liter, so it's not going to be that much of a difference with the benefits that I'm gaining. Also, what I found interesting was to just to be there when the guys install the tires, to have a look at what they are doing. It's really, I would suggest to do it once at least when you change tires. Then the other question, why did I go for BF Goodrich and not maybe something else? Well, in terms of the Goodyears, they don't come in this size, so I had to look for something else, which meant I had to change 5 tires. Why BF Goodrich? Well, they've had good reviews. I needed a harder tire in terms of the punishment it can take. I know it's got a thicker sidewall, maybe less flex, that we still need to see, but also it depends on the wear resistance, not losing pieces of rubber like I had with the previous set. I had to think about that as well. So that's one of the reasons why I went with BF Goodrich. Obviously they've got good reviews as well, so that's one of the reasons why I went with them. It's a trusted brand. They've been around for a while, so I do believe it's going to be value for money, but I will keep you up to date over the lifetime of the tire. And thank you. Thanks for watching this review. I hope it was interesting. It was some of the questions I had about tires. I hope it answered those. And if you like to see more reviews on products, let me know, And as always, please like and please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everybody that has subscribed and that are watching the videos. Thanks for all the support from everybody. Thanks to Tyres today for allowing me to walk around in their workshop and yeah, just assisting me with these.